What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 3. What a fucking letdown. What an absolute disgrace. Opening the season with a performance like that was just diabolical, crap, disgraceful. We started so slow. Crystal Palace took full advantage of us. To be honest, the starting lineup shocked me a little bit, but I do understand, you know, some players are going to be fitter than others. We don't see what the players are doing at training, so it's not anything against Ollie's lineup. You know, Scott McTominay actually had a pretty decent game, and he did save us a lot. Could have been a lot worse, to be honest. So I'll go through the starting lineups first. But yeah, I'm fuming. I'm really annoyed. So in goals we had David De Gea, Victor Lindelof, Maguire, Luke Shaw and Timothy Fosu-Mensah in defence. Then in the midfield we had Pogba, Bruno and Dan James and Scott McTominay, Marcus Rashford on the left and Anthony Martial up front. Yeah, like I think McTominay did alright, to be honest, so I'm not going to give out about that. Dan James, a lot of people don't rate him. I honestly don't think he had the best of games, but I don't think he was terrible. I do think he's better on the left, and that's where he should be played. If he should be played at all, put him on the bench, put him on for a few minutes at the end to run the legs off teams. That's what I would do. Crystal Palace, they had Guaita in goal, Joel Ward, Coyote, Saku and Mitchell in defence. Then they had Andros Townsend, the goal scorer, Jeffrey Schlupp, MacArthur and McCarthy, Jordan Ayew up top with Wilfred Zaha. Going into it, I was confident. I really was. I thought Manchester United would have had this. Of course, Crystal Palace have kicked off the league a week early. They've already had a win. They won 1-0, I think, against Southampton. So yeah, they've had their start, and they look very fit. They did look like a good team. So yeah, they said at the end, Andros Townsend said at the end of the game that, you know, they wanted to take advantage of United and catch us while we're cold, because of course, you know, we haven't had our first match yet. A lot of us are only back. You know, Paul Pogba is just back from coronavirus. He was out, you know, out of isolation. So yeah, they really did take advantage of us, and we went down in the first 7 minutes. Like 7 minutes it took us to concede. In that opening kind of first few minutes, we weren't good. We looked wrecked already. And there was one thing that happened. It was David De Gea. He, you know, I think it was a back pass, and there were a lot of Crystal Palace players in the box. And David De Gea was kind of like looking for someone to pass it to, and he passed it straight to Crystal Palace. Now, I posted it on Twitter giving out, like, because David De Gea's distribution is shocking sometimes. And someone said, well, no one was shown for the ball. I don't think that's the case, and he could have put it many other places. He didn't have to put it where he put it, and it was literally straight to the Palace player. It was just so lucky that we got away with it. But then we concede a minute later, which was absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I think the cross in, Lindelof should have dealt with that cross in, and Maguire as well. He just looks so slow. Honestly, I really did have high hopes for Maguire coming into Manchester United, but really he hasn't shown me enough that you know, warrants him being a Manchester United player. Even the captain, he's the fucking captain. I've just not seen enough of good things from Maguire. I've seen too many mistakes, too many lethargic performances, and he just didn't look really in it today. They did pick it up. They definitely picked it up. And the possession says it all. We had 76% possession, which shows we did work hard and we got back into the game. But if you're not scoring goals, you're not fucking winning the game. And that was our problem. We literally could not get the ball into the back of the net. Every time we took a shot, blocked. It was just awful. At times there was players and you're looking around, they're like, move for the ball, do something. It's like, it's such a slow game. And our two centre backs, Lindelof and Maguire, I'm sorry, but they're literally like Dumb and Dumber. They're both good players individually. They have strengths and they obviously have weaknesses as well. But I think together they just do not complement each other whatsoever. They are a massive issue. It's very clear to see, and something needs to be done about it, because I honestly can't deal with that anymore. It's shocking. They're so slow. A lot of the time watching Maguire run back to defend, you'd have Lindelof kind of close to a player and trying to put a foot in, and Maguire is tracking back and he just looks so slow. Players are sprinting around him and getting in past him, and Maguire just looks like a little turtle crawling along and turning. It just looks like he can't turn left. He has to turn his whole body the opposite way. It's absolutely ridiculous to watch. Every time we get a corner or a free kick, it just like gets put back out and it's put into safe possession for Crystal Palace. We don't look threatening. There's good corners being put in, good balls being put in, and nothing's happening. Nothing is coming from it. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. We had 4 shots on target. We had 17 shots, and the majority of them were blocked, as I said earlier. Crystal Palace had 5 shots on target. 3 of those were goals, and they had 14 shots. Now, I will say about the penalty situation, really, really unfair, ridiculous. Never a penalty in my eyes, never a penalty. Victor Lindelof is running. When you're running, you use your arms, you build momentum. The ball was scooped up by Ayew, and it more so, I feel like it hits his face more so and kind of breezes past, and his arm is like that because he's running. Whether it touched him or not, it's just the most ridiculous rule. And I know VAR has impacted Manchester United's game immensely, especially last season, getting so many penalties. I know VAR has worked in our favour, but I don't want it. I think it's shit. It ruins the game, it ruins the momentum, it gives stupid decisions like that, and I just think we were so unfortunate. I know we weren't the better team, I know we weren't doing well, so we probably deserved to lose, but that just really was not okay. It wasn't good enough. I think VAR, it's not good. So anyway, David De Gea saves the penalty from Ayew, and I was up on my feet screaming, come on De Gea, yeah! Like, he hasn't saved a penalty in so long. I think the last one was against Everton or something like that, years and years and years ago, 4 years I think. And yeah, I was so happy, delighted, because we did not deserve that penalty against us, and he saved it. But then, what do they fucking do? They have a retake, which Zaha takes, because I honestly, I didn't think you'd be allowed to change the player. I think that's a bit shit. You know, you're given a penalty and you have to retake it. Surely the player who took it in the first place should be the player to take the penalty again, the retake. I don't know. Maybe that's, maybe you can inform me of this rule. I don't know. But anyway, so that, I think that was so unfair, because David De Gea, yes, he kind of came out, but it looked to me like his left foot was touching the line. But what do I know? So yeah, Zaha comes, takes it, smashes it in. Very good penalty. Ayew's penalty previously was absolutely shocking, so I would expect David De Gea to save that. Thank God he went the right way. But of course, it stands for nothing because it got retaken and Zaha smashes it in. I think, of course, it's so frustrating, because I felt like after that, then there was a lot of anger from the players and David De Gea as well, sarcastically applauding the ref because he's just ruining football. It was shocking in my opinion. But Manchester United really got a kick up the arse, and this should have happened from the get-go. But anyway, this is what Manchester United is recently. They're losing the game, and then towards the last 15-10 minutes they start picking it up, and they actually start really battling as if their life depends on it. In my opinion, their life depends on every game. They should be putting in those performances from start to finish, and if they can't keep that momentum and tempo going for the whole 90 minutes, that's fine. There's other players on the bench that will come on and possibly do the job. Well, we say that, but there isn't really much quality on our bench. Of course, Donny van de Beek was the quality on our bench. He's brought on, I think with 20 minutes to go, and he definitely did impact the game, and he gets a goal. A really well taken goal as well. He just placed it in the bottom corner on the left, and that's what we needed. We need a player that can do that. I just think some of our players, just like Rashford wasn't really in the game. He didn't do much to excite me whatsoever. Bruno, alright, I'm fuming because he's my fantasy football captain and he actually didn't really do anything. I've not even checked my team, to be honest, but definitely going to be a shit week again. But I'll leave that for another video. Mason Greenwood came on at half time, which was brilliant. United posted on Instagram saying half time, and I commented, put Greenwood on. And I'm so happy to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer making a substitute at half time and taking Daniel James off and putting Greenwood on, because I like Daniel James, I do, but I just do not think he impacted the game the way Greenwood could. But then when Greenwood came on, yes, he did show he had a good little performance, but again, I just think every shot we had was just well blocked. Palace were defensive, they were brilliant in defence, and yeah, it wasn't our day. What a shit way to start the league, like what a terrible way to start the league. I'm fuming, really, really annoyed, because I did get very excited going into that. I thought, right, it's a decent game. We're home, we should be beating Palace at home, but it wasn't to be. Absolutely shocking. I know we're going to be rusty. I know players are literally just back in the door, probably only a couple of training sessions in with the boys. And then Donny van de Beek, of course, coming on, making an impact, scoring a goal. It's hard for him because you dream of making a debut and scoring a goal, and then you lose the game and it's just crap. It's so annoying, it's so unfortunate, but we just have to go pick ourselves up again and hope for the next one we can get some points. I'm so annoyed. I'm really annoyed at that. We did have a lot of passes, like we passed them off the park. There was 697 passes for United and only 220 from Palace. Like, we quite clearly were best in possession and stuff of the ball, but Palace were the ones who took advantage of our mistakes. They looked better on the break. They had a great counter attack, and our defence was just completely sloppy. Laurel and Hardy centre back partnership. That's pretty much what Lindelof and Harry Maguire are. Again, I don't like slating our players. I don't like saying bad things, but at the end of the day, shit stuff from them, and they should do a lot better. I think Lindelof, for that first goal, to let that cross go in, it was a shit cross. To let it go in was awful. And then Maguire to just slowly react, get in there and do not let that ball come across to that player. It was so ridiculous. I'm really annoyed. I'm absolutely fuming. Looking forward to this game for 2 weeks. The Premier League started and we have to wait an extra week, which is awful. And then this is how we start off. I love Ole. A lot of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer haters and doubters, but at the end of the day, we need players in. We really need a right winger. Jadon Sancho is paramount in my opinion. We need to get him in. I don't think any substitutes or players, just because they're cheaper, I don't think they're going to do the job. We need a top class player, and that is Jadon Sancho. As for a centre back, we definitely need someone better. I'd even take Chris Smalling back in there with Harry Maguire or even with Lindelof, because I know he would probably do a better job. And you can laugh at me all you want, I don't care. I think Chris Smalling is a good player. I would have rather Phil Jones go off on loan and Smalling be our player. He's still got something. Eric Bailey, he's too injury prone. He scares me as well. So yeah, I'd put Smalling in there. I know, probably going to get laughed at saying that, but Harry Maguire and Lindelof just do not work. It's like mixing water and electricity. You're literally just going to die. It's not good enough. So yeah, they need to sort it out. We need to bring a centre back in, and if we're not going to do that, we need someone who's going to fucking stand up and literally break their neck to avoid conceding a goal, because our players literally just don't do it. They don't do it. David De Gea played alright. I'm not going to go through player ratings because I'm kind of talking about everyone bit by bit, but he did alright, and I was honestly devastated for him about that penalty retake, because we didn't deserve it. We did not deserve it at all. I think it was very unfair, and the ref was a bit of a dick. But yeah, 3-1. at home. We suffered defeat in our first opening game of the new season. And yeah, on to the next one. I'm absolutely raging, but let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know your thoughts on the starting lineup as well. Congratulations to Donny van de Beek on scoring on his debut. You know, that is one positive to take from this game. He looks like a player. He's got great vision. His passing was good. He looks like a creative player that we might that might be good for us. So look, let's have a few beers now and just forget about that game and on to the next one. Let me know your thoughts on the game. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe and drop a like on the video, and I'll chat to you for the next one.